So there's this phrase that I really enjoy because it really resonates with me, and I think it resonates with a lot of people too. And the phrase is in Latin, so quick disclaimer there. And I know a lot of people don't know Latin. It's a dead language since, I don't know, the collapse of the Roman Empire around the 500 CE. But besides all of that, this phrase is the following: Sic parvis magna. And look, I know that that is a very straightforward phrase. It's 3 words, but those 3 words actually mean a lot. And the translation is the following: greatness from small beginnings. So this phrase was coined by a famous English navigator by the name of Sir Francis Drake during the 16th century. And this guy was basically one of the coolest English dudes on the market. Sir Francis Drake started off as a sibling of 12 in a farm in England, and little by little he wanted to really explore the world and see what else is beyond, the borders of England. And through time he eventually took those small steps to becoming the greatest English navigator of his time. As he journeyed with other boats, he was like a pirateer. He always wanted to see the new world. That was, the biggest discovery around that time. He wanted to explore parts of Africa and see how that land was like. And he was so enamored with the idea of navigation and exploring that eventually he became one of the greatest navigators for against the Spanish Armada in the 16th century with Queen Elizabeth I. So he was basically a right-hand man, from a simple farm boy to one of the right hand of the royal queen at that time period. Was insane. But again, it was all from that quote, Sic parvis magna. And as you can see, Sir Francis Drake was the epitome of that phrase. He loved that phrase so much because he knew that that was him. He knew that in order to achieve greatness, there was these small beginnings that a person needs to take in order to be that person that they're meant to be that level of greatness that they know they can become if they choose to walk those small paths, if they choose to accept those small beginnings and allow themselves to be involved in that and slowly but surely reach that level of peak that, again, they know they can achieve. And Sir Francis Drake is one but many that have exemplified that. And I think the same can be done with us as well. We can be like Sir Francis Drake. We can be that greatness within us as long as we take those small steps towards it. And I know that's hard for a lot of people, especially me. I can't be the odd man out here just to tell you, oh, this is what you must do, this is what you have to do, and things like that, because everybody is different. Everyone's mode of greatness is valued in different paces than anybody else in the world. And that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us very individualistic as a society and as people in general. And when we value our greatness, we value it based on how we think is great in our hearts. And in Sir Francis Drake's case, he felt greatness was to be the greatest navigator for the English, for the English Empire at the time, for the English throne. And maybe for somebody in 2023 of today, maybe their greatness is simply just to be a good friend for those that need it, or simply to be a good father, or simply to be a good son, or simply to just be themselves. And that, to me, is something that's truly going to stand out even among other goals and ambitions that we have in store for us. So for me, Sic parvis magna, greatness from small beginnings, isn't just about us reaching to heights in terms of our materialistic goals and wealth, although that is something that I think should benefit everybody today if they want to achieve those things. But in reality, greatness from small beginnings is understanding that your greatness, the greatness within you, all the values that you have are inside of you, but in order to fully flesh them out, you need to take that one step. You need to start small. You need to slowly build yourself, because if you start from 0 to 100, it's not the same, because there's no steps that makes you appreciate how you got to greatness. And that's why I believe sometimes in terms of content creation for me is that I prefer to take those small steps, because once I reach that peak, maybe 3 years from now, 2 years from now, a year from now, but who knows how long, when I take those small steps and I realize that I started with this and I managed to reach with this, but it wasn't from a quick, turnaround, but rather with these small steps and improvements and those small bumps along the way. That to me is greatness from small beginnings. Not 0 to 100, but 0 to those steps towards that 100. And so with that, I hope you all understand the beauty of such a simple but impactful phrase that, could be lost to time because not everybody knows Latin unless you're a lawyer or you're a historian. But that idea of starting great, to become great, I should say, and start small is something that really is impactful to us today. A lot of people want to be that great version of themselves, but of course, you have to take those small steps, my guy, because trust me, it's gonna be a lot better. You don't burn out as quickly, and you just feel more accomplished and proud because you took those small steps and you started this incredible journey that no one can take away from you, and you reached that greatness that you achieved. Because trust me, that is gonna happen, not just because I'm saying it, but because I know you believe it too.